Hello, I'm Livia Blackburn, and I am the author of Midnight Thief and its sequel, Daughter of Dusk. So I'm very excited that the Tome Society, will be reading Midnight Thief for your November book of the month. So I thought I would tell you a little bit about how the book came about. So the idea for Midnight Thief actually started many, many years ago when I was in high school myself. And so I went to a high school with a camping requirement, which meant that every year we would go off camping for about a week. And, this was pretty hardcore camping. So there would be no showering and you'd be, digging holes to go to the bathroom. And so after a few years of this, I was like, okay, I think this is enough. And I started trying to figure out if there was something else I could do instead. And it turns out there was. You could propose your own project instead of camping. So I wrote up a proposal to write a novel, and to my surprise, it was approved. And so I got to write a novel instead of going camping, which worked really well for me. So starting from 10th grade, I started writing a novel about it was about a girl thief named Lana who discovered she had wizard powers and she goes off to a wizard school. Um, and, I wrote about maybe 80 pages of that in high school and then kind of put it away. It wasn't a very good novel. Most first novels are not very good. But I got some really good advice from one of my English teachers. He said, um, this character Lana, she's not incredibly compelling, but her best friend Kyra is really interesting. So I kind of took that away, and I actually went off to school for science. So for about 10 years, I didn't really do any writing or even really much reading. So fast forward 10 years, I'm in graduate school, and I'm waiting for the bus. And it's cold outside. I was in Boston, so I decided I would go into a bookstore to wait for the bus, and there was a display of a popular YA fantasy novel at the time. You might have heard of it. It was about a girl and her vampire boyfriend. Anyways, I started reading and just got completely hooked. So I bought the entire series, read it in one weekend, and I thought, I used to really like writing. Maybe I should, give it another try. So I remembered that character Kyra from my old novel, and then I had an idea for a plot twist that I really wanted to do. So starting from there, I wrote Midnight Thief, and a few years later, it was published. Um, so there are several things that inspire Midnight Thief. One is the fantasy novels that I read growing up. So Lloyd Alexander, The Pride and Chronicles, Tamara Pierce had this great series called The Song of the Lioness Quartet about this girl who dresses up as a boy in order to become a knight. And I just love those stories about, teenagers going off and having sword fights and adventures and thieves, assassins, all of those things. So I put that in the book. And the other inspiration was there's an old TV show called La Femme Nikita on USA. It's not the new TV show called Nikita. That's slightly different. But anyways, what I loved about that TV show was that it asked really interesting questions. So it's about a group of people who are fighting terrorists, but in the course of fighting terrorists, there's a lot of collateral damage. There's a lot of innocent people get hurt. And so you start asking, how much is too much? You're fighting for a really good cause, but you're also hurting innocent people in the process. And so I played with a lot of those questions in Midnight Thief as well. Um, yeah, so that is my introduction to Midnight Thief, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think about it. Thank you.